Oh, there we go. We have found Thandi, the mother of the little cub. The little cub is still hiding, but we're just going to sit here very quietly and enjoy her. You can see she's very hot. When she's digesting food, it creates heat, so she's panting heavily. Unlike certain animals, leopards do not have sweat glands, so they are unable to get rid of heat and so the way they get rid of heat is to pant. And there we go. She's looking. She might start calling for the cub if it's a bit far away from her. And just look like she might be about to call. So she'll make a few different sounds when she calls the cub. The most common one is sort of ow, ow. Leopards also chuff, which is sort of puffing up their cheeks and blowing out wind, and that's one of the ways they communicate when they're close to each other. Now, apart from females that are with cubs, and when they are mating, leopards are almost always solitary cats. Now, I don't know if you can hear, there's a very faint noise, a very sort of chirping of small birds. And that's almost certainly where the cub is. Marshall is wondering, are leopards concerned about hyenas scavenging their kills? Very much so. Now, the only reason she hasn't put this kill up in a tree is when she caught it, it was an adult male impala, and that would have been too heavy for her to take up the tree. And so she's kept it on the ground. She's been lucky. The hyenas haven't found it yet, but it is starting to smell a little bit. So there is a possibility that this evening the hyenas might arrive, or that she takes it up and puts it up a tree. There are lots of good trees for her to put that kill up. And now that she's eaten almost 70% of it, it'll be much easier for her to hoist it up into the tree. So there is a very good chance that she will take it up into a tree. And you can see she's completely unperturbed with us being here. Now, each different leopard has different comfort zones. So when you approach an animal you don't know well, especially if you're in a new area, you must always be very, very careful how you drive. And you never want to drive directly at an animal, because that's sort of an aggressive sign. You want to keep your distance if you're not sure. We know this leopard very, very well. And she has actually got a bigger gap that we must keep from her than certain other leopards. Josiah is wondering, have there been any human deaths because of the animals? Well, it's not because of the animals. Most of the deaths when it comes to human and wild animals, it's purely because of human stupidity. Leopards have killed people in the Kruger National Park, which we are unfenced with, but people doing silly stuff at night and without torches and whatnot. But most animal-human conflict is all on the humans, and well, unfortunately for the animals. And often the animals can get a bad name from it. But if you know what you're doing and you treat the animals with respect, you normally don't have any problems. Oh, I'm very excited for that little cub to make an appearance. I know it's in the grass here somewhere, and it won't stay away from Mom for too long, or away from the meat for too long. Oh, we can hear some elephants not too far away for Tristan if he wants to go look for them. So if I'm just going to ask our final control to let Tristan know that there's some elephants on Cheetah Cutline Junction, Buffalo's Hook Cutline, making a lot of noise, so Tristan can go look for some elephants. So Katie was wondering, how do we know which individual leopard this is, and how do we identify them? Now, we know the leopard territories here very, very well. Upset elephant trumpeting in the distance there. But so if we can zoom in on her, you see my finger there, we can zoom in on her on her face. Now you see she's got her whiskers. The last line of spots above her whiskers is, well, she's not, as unfortunately a bit behind grass there. There we go. We can just see it in that little gap through the grass. Is like a fingerprint. And if you don't know the individual leopards that well, that is the best way to ID them. These leopards here on Djuma, we know really, really well. So we've seen them for many, many years now. So we know their territories, we know where they are, and well, I'm hoping that little cub makes an appearance very, very soon. But in the meantime, Taylor's got some birds that leopards sometimes catch. DJ is wondering, how rare is it to see leopards in this area? Well, we're very fortunate in this area. This is one of the best places in the world to see leopards, and we see leopards almost every single day. So we're very, very lucky here. This is a very important, or it's probably one of the best places in the world to see leopards. I'm really hoping the cub comes out before you guys leave. So the cub's definitely very close if she makes those chuffing noises. Mrs. Ragsdale is wondering what research is happening with leopards in Africa. There's quite a bit of different research in various different parts of Africa. In this part of Africa at the moment, there is an organization by the name of Panthera that have an ongoing study to do with genetics and also with poaching and the skin trade in leopard skins. Now, there's actually a religious grouping called the Shengi Church, and somehow they're in northern Zululand. They decided that leopard skins would be their sort of emblem, and so we actually have little vials, and any new leopard we see, we collect a feces sample so the guys can run genetics, and then they collect skin samples off those the church wearers' leopard skins to try to determine which leopard populations in southern Africa are under threat. It's not this leopard population where we are is very healthy and not under threat at all, but it seems like Taylor has got a bird who's managed to catch something. Oh, a big hello to Avoca West School in Illinois. Welcome to your very own live African safari. And here we have the Prince of Predators, one of the most elusive cats in Africa, a female African leopard. And she actually has a little baby somewhere around close by, who's probably just snoozing in the long grass. So we're hoping that while you're with us, the little leopard cub will come out to join us. Now, please, guys, send through your questions. I can't wait to hear what questions you guys have about all the wonderful African animals. Now, of course, I'm not the only person out here. You have got Taylor and Tristan, who are also searching for animals for you. But my name is Brent, and I have my good friend Craig on camera. And this is very exciting. We are a few feet away from a wild leopard. Isn't that amazing? So there she is. Now, I'm hoping that she calls the little baby out, who's probably very close by here somewhere. She is a very beautiful cat. Her name is Thandi, and if I remember correctly, she's 11 years old. Or she could be 12 this year. Not sure. Ryan would like to know, why is a leopard called the Prince of Predators? Well, it's probably because they're the second biggest cat in Africa, and the lion's the king, then the leopard must be the prince. It's just an old sort of colloquial saying about leopards. They are extremely beautiful, though. Chuffing, she's calling for the cub at the moment, so any moment that little leopard cub might appear. This is very exciting. I have never seen this leopard cub before, so I am very, very excited to possibly see the cub for the first time. So you see when she blows her cheeks and goes, it's called chuffing. So she's looking around. The cubs often wander off a little bit, but they never go too far. Trevor is wondering, do leopards have spots when they are born? Yes, they do, Trevor. And they actually, the spots are they're almost more spotty when they're born, and the spots are more tightly packed. And that is a form of camouflage, because the mothers can't stay with them all the time, so they have to hide them in thickets or little caves and then go out hunting to try and find enough meat to make milk for the babies. So yes, they are very spotty when they're born. Hi, Will. Will is wondering, how many babies does a leopard have in a litter? Normally 1 or 2, and rarely as many as 3, but normally 1 or 2. So in this case, as far as I'm aware, she only gave birth to 1 cub. They do have a very high mortality rate as well. There's the cub. It's here. Hello, little one. Hello, precious. Isn't this amazing? Hello, you. This is the first time I've ever seen this little cub. Hello, you. Full of mischief. Isn't she absolutely beautiful? It's a little female. That's very special. We're very lucky to see this female leopard and cub now. And I've been, since I found the kill a bit earlier on foot, I've been waiting very patiently for the little cub to appear, and now it has. Kate is wondering, at what age do leopards have babies? So female leopards normally become independent of their mothers at anything from as young as a year old, but normally close to sort of 18 months old. But they will normally only start mating at around 3 years old. So somewhere between 3 and 4, they'll have their first litter. Now, of course, there are always exceptions to the rule. But I'll tell you about that later, because Taylor's got something amazing to show you. Well, the little one has been playing hide and seek with us. She's come closer to us and keeps sort of peering at us through the little tree. Well, now she's decided we're not that interesting. She's off on another mission. Now, oops, off she goes. At this time of the day, as it gets darker, other predators start becoming more active, such as specifically the hyenas. Now, with the kill on the ground and with a young cub here, we don't want to stay at night. That might put their kill at risk for being stolen, or the cub at risk from a potential attack by hyenas. So we're going to have to say goodbye to the little one and the mom, and move off and go see what else we can find. But I'm just on top of the world. It's my first sighting of this little cub, so very, very special indeed. Let's have one last look at Mom. I don't know where little cubby's disappeared to into the long grass. She's doing such a fantastic job raising this little cub. So we're going to leave them in peace and come back and check on them early tomorrow morning. Okay, so while we move out of here very carefully as not to disturb them, let's go across to Taylor, who's got a live version of what the leopards have been eating.